Hello and welcome to this video. I'll be showing you how to rename queries in Power BI Desktop and the Power Query Editor. I've got a Power BI Desktop file opened, and inside the Power BI Desktop I've got some imported data here. So these data here are all queries that are imported in a previous video when I connected to a Microsoft Access database file. So the way to rename queries, you can rename them from inside the Power BI Desktop, this area here. For example, if I want to rename this one, I just right click and there is a menu option for rename. I can just come here and just get rid of that and just call it date and press enter. You can see here that has been renamed to date. I can also rename the queries inside the Power Query Editor. So if I click on edit queries here, that will open up the Power Query Editor, and inside the Power Query Editor I can also rename the queries. So these are the queries inside the Power Query Editor. You can see this is the one I just renamed from the Power BI Desktop. So if I wanted to rename this one, for example, called 𝗂𝗂𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, I can click on it and it displays the name inside the properties area of the query settings. So I can come here and just get rid of that and call it, for example, I can call it geography and press enter, and that will rename it. And you can see here it renames it here as well. You can also rename it from within the query area here. So for example, here this query called 𝑏y_manufacturer, I can come here and do a right click and click rename and just get rid of the by bit if I want to. Just rename it and I'll get rid of that and just make that a capital M, press enter, and that renames it. So you can do the same with any query you have. You either rename it from the query area here inside the Power Query Editor, or you could click on the query and rename it under the properties area inside the Power Query Editor, or you can rename it directly from the Power BI Desktop inside the field area here. Under fields, you can rename it there as well inside the Power BI Desktop. I'm just going to rename some of the other tables. I'm going to remove the 𝑏y_ and just rename it. So I come here and do a rename, and I'll just remove the 𝑏y and just make the P uppercase to make it product. And I'll come here, do the same, right click on this one and click on rename. I will get rid of the 𝑏y_ and just make that a uppercase S, press enter, and I'll do this one as well. So I'll close this query group, and inside this query group I'll right click this one, go rename, and again I'll remove the 𝑏y_ and make that a capital S and press enter. So I've now renamed the queries I have inside my Power Query Editor. Anytime you make changes to your Power Query Editor, it's good to apply the changes. I'm going to click on this drop down here inside the Power Query Editor window, and there is a close and apply. Close and apply will apply the changes and then close the Power Query Editor. If you choose apply, it just applies it, it doesn't close it, or you can close. But before you close the Power Query Editor, we'll always make sure you apply the changes. So I'm going to click on close and apply, and that will apply the changes. So you can see here all the query names have been renamed. So that's it for this video on renaming queries. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.